Hey, what's up, Internet? Welcome back to the Extreme Scale Performance RC channel. You're watching Camping with Coleman. It's your boy Coleman. I'm here basically picking up where I left off with the last episode. So, anyways, let's get to it, man. Let's get back to some RC. Let's get back to some wrenching. As you see behind me, it is pitch black outside. Yeah, I don't know. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. It's late. We're going to do some midnight wrenching, and that's all good. We're going to kick it. Why not? You know, what else are we going to do in the middle of the night when you're an RC addict such as myself? We got the yellow Jeep on the bench. We're going to go ahead and replace some stuff. I didn't get around to ordering anything for it, so instead what we're going to do is we're going to crack open this old used Axial axle I have, which is actually less used than the one I got taken apart, and we're going to pull the good locker out of this. And we might even just use this housing too. We'll see. Swap over a couple things, and yeah, basically freshen up this rear axle on my old yellow rusty Jeep here, this Axial Scx10. If you guys didn't watch the last episode, please go back, watch it, check it out, catch up to where we're at now, and let me know what you think. Lots of stuff's been going on behind the scenes too, so you guys please go check out the Oregon Enduro series. I am now editing for them. They've officially picked me up. I'm filming and editing for them, which is really cool. Also picked up some other clients, so I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes too. I'm going to be filming the upcoming Groundhog Rock Crawl event here in Central Oregon. It's not RC, it's 1-1 stuff. And this weekend I'm going to be heading out to Klein Butte, do some wheeling, and do some scouting for the upcoming Oregon Recon G6. Stay tuned for that stuff too. Alright, let's get to wrenching. Just about got this apart here. Take off these C-hubs here. And I believe we should be able to pull it apart now. There we go. As you can see, it still has factory grease in the housing just like that other one did. Alright, so there's our empty housings. And I'll go ahead and show these to you guys. You can see there. Not a lot in there at all, really. I mean, there's spray paint on the outside, which makes it look a lot dirtier than it is. I mean, they're actually in great shape. You can see that there. So, those will work pretty good. Okay, so it looks like the bearings are in pretty good shape. We're going to go ahead and get the towel here. This is COWRC towel. I've had this for years, man. Look at that, it's got holes through it. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, this thing's been through a lot, man. I love my COWRC towels. A lot of people don't know COWRC sells towels. They sell all kinds of really cool stuff. Yeah, just the slightest bit of grit in this one. The other one's perfect. But we'll go ahead and use those. That's good enough. We can get away with using those. Alright, there we go. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and swap over the old hardened gears. These are hardened axial gears. And we're going to swap those from this beat up locker to the newer locker. Now, the newer locker is used, so it's still going to have some wobble to it, but it's not going to be as bad. The old one has just a tremendous amount. I mean, tremendous amount of play to it. Here you go, so you can see. That is bad. Almost, you know, like a quarter of a rotation. Now we'll take the newer one here, which is still, you know, it's still used, but it's not as bad here. So nowhere near as bad. It's about half as much play in it. Now, really, you know, ideally, I wouldn't want any play there, but if you're on a budget and you got an extra locker laying around, you might as well just throw it in real quick. Get a little bit of improvement over that, especially if you have as much slop as this one has. Now, this thing does have a ton of just buildup and stuff on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cleaned up and start swapping it over. There's 4 screws in the back of that. I'll go ahead and take those out. That'll separate the locker from the ring gear, and yeah, we'll get her swapped over. I'll be right back with you. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually using Moose Slick to break up the old gunk on this locker here. And it works really well, honestly. Look at this. Show you guys that there. It looks nasty. Yeah, I know. It's all gross right now, but let that focus a little bit. You see how it's breaking that up there? Very nice. Very nice. Take a rag, after you let it sit and soak for a minute, take a rag and just start wiping it down, and you'll see the stuff starts just coming right off of it. It's really crazy. Now, Moose Slick, this is not what I would normally use it for, but this stuff has proven to be pretty much an all-around, just a handy aerosol to have in your shop. Use it for a lot of stuff. Apparently even for cleaning old lockers. Now you can kind of see 4313 starting to show up here because that's the ratio for the hardened gears that I'm running here. Let's see if that'll show up. I don't know if you guys can make that out, but it's starting to show up there. Now what I'll do is I'm going to use a little bit of a degreaser and wind up breaking that up just a little bit more. Normally I use my COWRC degreaser, but I am all out right now. I'm waiting on my, I need to make another order is what I need to do. It's my fault. I am slacking. Alright you guys, so we're back here. I've got the ring and pinion gear all cleaned up. It's the old Axial HD ring and pinion gear. Right, here's the ring gear here. This is the new Axial, oh maybe I'm a little close there. There we go. The new Axial housing, locker housing with a newer Axial locker installed that I pulled out of that other housing there. Here's the pinion gear. See if that'll focus. There you go. In pretty good shape, given it's about 4 years old, give or take, something like that. The old housings here, these are the old Axial housings, just munched, dirty, full of nasty. We're going to go ahead and throw those aside here, and then we're going to install the stuff into these nice ones, which that's just stock, grease in there. We're going to go ahead and throw some better stuff in there. We've got KAINE.com's Utter Butter, the super waterproof grease right here. This stuff is just kind of like a grease all, man. It works for everything. You get this at KAINE.com. It is very similar to marine grease, but way stickier. And I don't know if that'll focus well, but you can see that consistency. There, yeah, it's pretty gnarly stuff. So we're going to use this, and we're going to go ahead and just slop a bunch of it in there. I don't have any super fancy methods or ways of doing this. I'm sure you guys probably all have your own ways of doing it. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let me know how you guys like to do this. But I, personally, will take my finger here, and I will fill up the areas that I need to lubricate. So, for instance, because I'm going to be sliding that pinion gear down in here, I'm going to go ahead and get some grease down in there where it's going to slide in. And you don't need a ton. I mean, obviously, you want to get enough in there to make sure it does its job. But this stuff's really sticky, so as soon as it hits that gear, it's going to wrap around it, and you'll be good. So, booyah, something like that. Not a whole lot right there. And that's just to get this in. I'm going to go ahead now and slide that bad boy down in there. Boom, something like that right there. And I will just wipe that off later. But right now, I'm going to make a mess. So, now that that's in there, I'm going to spin her around, make sure it gets in nice and good. Take some, push it over the top here. Alright, now let's take a little bit more here. And we're going to take the ring gear here, and we're going to go ahead and get this all situated. Take a little bit here. And the reason I'm going to put it on here is because this is where the bearings are going to sit. And I don't want the bearings to seize to this. So I'm going to go ahead and lubricate that up. I have had that happen in the past where bearings have actually seized to them. Then I'll take the bearings themselves. I'm going to go ahead and just get the bearings all nice and gooey. All nice and buttery. There we go. And as you can see, there is utter butter all over those bearings. So they're going to move nice and smooth. And that grease, as you can see, it just sticks to it. Doesn't run off. Nothing like that. This is really good grease. We're going to take this bad boy here. And I'm wishing right now that I had more port tubes from BPC, because I'd like to actually install some more port tubes from BPC into these axles. The ones I have right now are actually going to go in Hercules. But we're going to go ahead and just, for fun, we're going to go ahead and lay in some more where the bearings are going to sit. Throw some down there and there. And this is waterproof grease, so if you want to, you can actually just fill this up just to help keep the liquid out of your axle. So what I've done here is I've gone and applied utter butter to these housings. What I do is I use it liberally through these axles. A little bit goes a long way and a lot goes even further, as I say. So yeah, I went ahead and just filled these axle housings basically with marine grease. Now they had factory grease in them already. I just went right over the top of it. Just filled them all up. You can go, even further than that if you want and just actually pack them to the brim, or you can, just throw a little bit where you think you need it, like on the bearings and on the gears themselves. Me personally, I go mud bogging a lot, so I put a lot of grease in here just to help counteract that mud. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start putting this thing back together. Alright, so we've got the axle pressed back together. Full of grease, super full of grease. I've got the axle shafts installed without the lockouts on it. The bearings are in place. So now all I have to do is slide these lockouts right back over the top. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little grease on these bearings. And I'm going to put a little grease in the lockouts. I know that sounds crazy. Because it's plastic, but I'm doing that to keep any mud and stuff like that, water, debris from coming in. And what I'll do is clean these up after the fact. So, go ahead and slide these on. And like I said, don't be scared to get messy, you guys. This is a dirty job. Alright, slide that lockout on there like that. Then I'll take my rag, clean myself up here a little bit, and wipe this axle down. Clean her up like that, and voila, guys. We've got an axle almost ready to go. Just need to reinstall the hardware and mount her back in the truck, and we should be good to go. So anyways, I'm going to get to it and see how quick I can do this, because I'm getting kind of tired now. Alright, one of the things that I'm doing that's actually really, really cool and I've been looking forward to doing for a long time is I'm actually putting my Team K&K hardware to use. This is a button head 3x10mm screw from my Mega Bag Black series. I did an unboxing or product revealing video on them a while back. And this is from Team K&K, and it is awesome, man. It's like such a cleaner hardware just all around. It just looks better. Everything's better about it. Now, they may look similar at first glance, but they're not, man. They're really not. And you'll notice that when you start to use theirs, the head's just more solid and you have more surface. It's just great. I'm honestly stoked on it. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. Like, obviously, any guy is stoked to get new hardware for their stuff, but like to I don't know. I'm actually excited about it beyond where I thought I was going to be. So I'm rebuilding this rear axle with new hardware from Team K&K. Yeah, so just a shout out to Team K&K Hardware. You guys go to their website, check them out. You can pick up the same hardware I'm using to rebuild this. It's just making it look so much better already. Yes, very excited. Alright, you guys, so it looks like we just finished up here. My hands are filthy, I'm tired, but I am very, very, very pleased with the situation. Well, as you can see, I've got flexed out on my TSH scale jacks here. I just want to show it off a little bit. I'm excited. I went ahead and cleaned up everything for the most part. I don't know if you guys can see this over here. I've got a whole pile of the stuff that we got rid of here, and I'll show you real quick the end result. If you guys can see up under here, I'm not sure how good the lighting is going to be this late. Alright, but if you can see up under there, there you go. Finished axle, Team K&K hardware installed. We've got slightly newer locker installed, just a stock axial locker, and that helped eliminate a little bit of it, but not a lot. Turns out I have another problem. Underneath, when I move my drive shafts, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but, right, well, let's go ahead and zoom in here. Let's see what we can see. It's a little dark, but there we go. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. No, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. So, anyhow, right in there, if you can see those gears, I've got some movement I'm not supposed to have. So anyways, long story short, I got to take the transmission apart next. But I'm not going to do that until later. It's good for now. It will still drive. Matter of fact, let's turn it on and just make sure it's going to drive. Grab the radio, switch it to TJ4. Let's plug in a battery. I'm not sure what batteries I got going here. They might be dead. Alright, there we go. All plugged in. We have movement. And let's go ahead and make sure it's on camera. There we go. Oh, there goes the fan. And there we go. That was me doing that, so you know. Yeah, we've got rear drive again. And as you can see, the rear starts moving before the front does. Way before the front does. It shows me I have made an improvement. The front now needs to get improved next. But anyways, you guys, the old Jeep here is back in action. I am going to do some testing and some crawling here on the desk, and then I'm going to go to bed. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching, as I kind of rebuild this old hunk of junk here and get it, not really rebuild it, but just do the maintenance, keep it alive. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I'm going to do a lot more of this stuff. It's not to teach you guys how to do anything, it's not to tell you how to do anything, it's just to show you how I do things. And give you somebody to hang out with while maybe you're wrenching yourself. So, anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Holla at your boy. Piece of chick grease. I'll see you here in a couple days.